I know I was on at the end of April as well. We did a little bit of training then, but there are resources out there for you guys. So as agents with the company, we have access, like Shantae said, to this amazing platform that you pay that platform fee for every month. But if you're just starting out and you're trying to run a business and trying to, where do I put things? How do I keep myself organized? All these tools are there to help you market yourself and all that kind of stuff. But it's just a matter of, kind of understanding them, getting comfortable with it. I think we're in a time right now with this quarantine situation where we have a lot of really good time on our hands to be able to kind of come out of this a better version of ourselves and using these tools. And just hearing some of those stories tonight, pretty crazy. And Mary Ann, from what you were saying as well, that's probably a story I'll be sharing in some of my trainings, if you don't mind. I envision you up on stage at convention next year after your business just like booms because you dedicated your time to this, which is going to be awesome. But whether it's out of choice or out of necessity, but just to have this opportunity, and like I said, and I support the platform side of things, which is all those technology resources, just for that small fee that you can, by the way, get covered if you write a couple of policies every month. So 2,000 points a month, and you don't pay anything for this platform. So it's a pretty amazing thing to kind of have access to. And just to kind of give you an idea, I keep saying platform. What that is your Salesforce, your MyWFG reporting, the links to the back office. You have a Campaign Manager, Legacy Shield, RightBridge, all these different tools that help us submit and track our businesses. And you have access to it for just that little platform fee that you can get covered by just writing a little bit of business as well. Just to kind of give you an idea, if we packaged up, let's say you had an office of 50 people. So Shantae, not sure what, broker dealer or whatever you talked to before, but
you probably
I know
the audio.
Oh.
It said call in audio. You didn't work, the audio was off.
Oh, you guys hear me? So just to kind of give you an idea, let's say, you're with a different company, right? And so you're with another firm that you were able to open up your own office, and maybe they don't have all these different resources, kind of a smaller company. If you had 50 people that were part of a company, you wanted a custom-made version of Salesforce to create and track your business like we have. You wanted a version of Campaign Manager with some built-in tools, so some kind of marketing hub that had some materials and tools for you to use. And then also something like Legacy Shield, where you're able to create your own estate plan and also offer estate planning to your people, because that's just a natural transition in conversation from what we normally talk about. If you partnered those three things together for an office of 50 people, that's going to cost you about $700 a month per person, because of that custom-made version of Salesforce, that Campaign Manager, and that Legacy Shield, all those things. It just costs an incredible amount of money to get those things made the way that we'd want them to be made. And we just have access here at WFG with such a large scale of agents to be able to use this and have a very affordable. And then you get all this for free if you're writing some business, and unlimited income potential. So just kind of keep that in mind as we go through here. Kind of what I'm going to cover today. I know I covered a lot on Salesforce last time. We'll go back in and just kind of maybe just take real life examples of what you were just talking about. So Mary, I know you were saying sending out books and you're tracking those folks in Salesforce. That's syncing over into Campaign Manager. So then you can send those emails out to them and follow up with them that way. So maybe we'll use that as kind of an example as we go through. I always put this map up when I start out. This is my current territory right now. So see, you guys are right here. I'm sitting in Denver, Colorado, so I'm right in the middle of all this stuff. Haven't obviously been able to travel in a while, but normally I go out into offices 3 weeks out of the month, and then 1 week out of the month I just do webinars. And my job as a BPC, Business Productivity Consultant, is literally to help you all with the platform. So to be another resource to help you figure out, how to make the tools that we have work best for your business. And really what it comes down to, I always say the difference between using the platform and the tools that you're given and not using it is the difference between being a true business owner and just being in here to be an agent. right? So if you truly want to own your business, use these tools to whatever effectiveness that you can, whatever works best for you. That's what's great about them, is you can kind of customize them whatever you want to do, but you're going through there. So I'll jump off that soapbox a little bit and then kind of dive in. I just show this to give you my email address, and then I'll type this into the chat as well. But if anybody ever needs to get a hold of me, again, this is my job. I run these webinars during the days. Basically, this whole month, all I've been doing are follow-up, webinars and Zoom calls, one-on-one calls, small group calls with people that have been in my group trainings over the last month or two. Now that they've started to use Salesforce, they've started to use Campaign Manager and are coming up with questions, we're kind of getting back together to rehash everything there. So just kind of keep that in mind as kind of what I do. I'll go ahead and start it out when we go into your My WFG. So again, what I kind of want to cover today is I know we really went into depth on Salesforce a little bit last time. So we'll rehash that, review that a little bit, and then go a little bit more into Campaign Manager and answer some questions and things there. So I'll stop in certain points. So if we do have questions, definitely we can go in there. But I'm going to start out here and jump into Salesforce. And so if you don't remember how to get there, the best way is go to your My Business tab, or I should say the only way, and then go to Salesforce right here. And so again, just a reminder, this is Salesforce is the biggest company in the world that does what they do. And Salesforce is a CRM. So if you weren't on the training last night, you don't really know what you'd be using this for. Salesforce is a client relationship manager. So what that enables you to do is to track your database of all of your clients, which I know a lot of agents during this time have had to kind of get everything kind of organized a little closer to home as far as, where their clients' contracts are and things like that right now. And Salesforce has really been a huge help for the people that have started to use it, and hopefully a way that you'll recognize that it's something that will make this a lot easier in the future. So if you ever needed to come up with a list of all of your nationwide clients that have IULs, if you've entered that into Salesforce, I could very easily run a report and show all those kind of things. So create your database of your clients. Secondly, you'll be able to, there's actually a pre-built prospecting tool in here. So we use this leads and referrals section to actually go through prospecting into those stages and how that all kind of works. And then finally, tracking your business that you're actively working on right now. So managing your pipeline of your recruits and your sales is very easily done here through the opportunities. And this is also goes a really, really, really long way to what you were saying there about the CYA, right? So you want to be able to cover everything that you're doing, making sure, Shante was saying it. We're dealing with clients, people's opinions, people's situations change down the line. You never know that the policy that you sold them today and everything was right, is going to be something that, maybe they don't agree with 3 or 4 years down the line. I hear it all the time. And you're going to need to be able to show that, hey, we did all of our due diligence at the time. I recorded our meetings and the illustrations and everything that we ran. And the opportunities here in Salesforce really allows you to manage those existing sales that you're working on right now. So just to kind of review, and then I'll ask for any questions that you guys have. I hope that some of you guys were kind of messing around with this since we met a few weeks ago and kind of getting to know it. But again, I try to simplify Salesforce when you're in here. So this homepage, these are just, we call them dashboards. So they're just dashboards to help you manage your day. So you have alerts up here at the top. Alerts are feeding in from Transamerica and Nationwide and Pack Life. So if you've submitted a case through IGO, basically, that person's name and email might show up here under alerts if the carrier sent out something saying like, hey, this moved over to underwriting, or hey, we're missing a signature, or we need an initial on page 5 of the application, or whatever it might be. Whenever those emails and those alerts go out to you and WFG, it feeds in here into the alerts section in Salesforce. And we're continuing to build this out. This is a big initiative right now that really any of your pending business, we're working with the carriers right now to feed all of their stuff into a kind of a proprietary platform to then actually feed that all into alerts. So the idea is that one day you're just going to log into Salesforce, and any of your pending business, no matter what it is, what carrier it is, you're going to see notes on anything that you might need to do there. So keep an eye on that. Very cool feature to be able to have in here. Your Salesforce calendar. If you have the mobile app, this is syncing with your Google and your Outlook calendars. So keep that in mind, that you can really just keep one calendar and kind of track it all the way through. If you make the event here, or if you make the event in your phone, either way, it's gonna sync through. And then really down here, we have the recruiting, onboarding, and sales opportunities. And just to kind of rehash those, again, I mentioned the opportunities is how you're going to manage your pipeline, how you're going to keep track and not let things fall through the cracks, as well as log everything that you're doing, so that way you're kind of covering yourself and protecting your business. But recruiting opportunities, just like it sounds, I'm recruiting somebody, so I would go in and create a recruiting opportunity for that person and kind of track them through the stages. The onboarding opportunities, I'm not creating any of these. These actually come in from launch. So as your folks and you recruit them and they go into launch, you'll notice that their name will show up in here, and it'll say that they've accessed launch. Once they go into the licensing stage, it'll say they've gone to licensing, and you kind of track their process or their progress all the way through. It'll say how many days they have left to get licensed and all that kind of stuff. And really what's cool about this is, once you've had this for a while and you've been recruiting people, you'll be able to kind of track how many days each person stays in each stage. So maybe you need to work on your process of getting someone from filling out the AMA to getting their licensing materials. Maybe that's somewhere you want to dedicate or change the process around and try to consolidate those stages, so you're getting people recruited a little bit faster, so it's more replicable for you to be able to do down the line. So once you have more information in here, the analytics kind of takes over and it becomes a really cool tool to be able to use. And then sales opportunities, obviously. We created one of these last time, I believe, and showed you some of the tools you can go in there. We'll just rehash a little bit of that as we go through. And then finally, birthdays and tasks. So birthdays in the next 7 days, just a fun little thing to have here. And then tasks. These are your tasks that you set for yourself. So I can set a task from pretty much any different area. So even from the homepage, I can set a new task. So if I needed to set myself a reminder to reach out, like this one right here, I need to reach out to Tyler about a recruiting email that I had sent him from Campaign Manager. So this is something I've got built in here. So that's kind of the homepage again, just your quick connects to be able to see what you're working on. And then up here on the top, all these different tabs. And again, I always mention that this is kind of where people get confused, is there's all these tabs, across the top. But all I want you to kind of focus on are the accounts, the leads and referrals, and the opportunities section. So these three, just kind of capture those ones, and you can move these around. You can grab these. If they're not up there, they might be under the more category, so you can drag these over and just organize this however you want. But the way that you want to do it, again, let's say that you've got Marianne out there she's sending out those books, and she wants to keep track of the people that she's sending books to. So I would add those people in as a lead and referral. So either from my mobile app that you can download. If you haven't done that, definitely download the Salesforce app and then look on my WFG for the instructions to get that switched over. But then put them into your leads and referrals if they're not somebody that's already an existing client. They're just a prospect. And then you can just mark a little box here. You go to related and make a note, or up here in a note, just say, dropped off a book or mailed a book on X date, whatever it is. And then set yourself a task to reach out and follow up with them, after a couple of weeks to kind of keep yourself organized. So that's one way that you can kind of use this for those prospects. As you go through, the next thing you do with the prospect, let's say that book really resonated and they wanted to move on and they wanted to talk to you about some kind of insurance or investments that they could work with to kind of help build their wealth and set their kids up on the right path as well. So from there, they're no longer a prospect. They're really someone that I'm going to be meeting with and talking to. So I want to create an opportunity for them. But I can't do that from a lead or referral. What I have to do is go over here to the top right, go to convert, and then I can convert this lead very easily into a person account. So once I've converted them, and I'll just kind of show you, I'm going to leave Neil in here the way it is right now. But once you convert them from a lead, you can see not a whole lot of information I'm gathering. But when I go to a account, let's do this for Emmanuel Joseph that I made, a lot more information I can gather. And now I can also create those opportunities. So if I'm selling any kind of insurance, or I want to talk to them about investment opportunities, or go in and talk about recruiting opportunities, I can do all that very easily from, just creating those here and then tracking those opportunities through. So an opportunity is attached to an account. So keep that in mind. So leads and referrals to bring in your prospects, or if it's an existing client of yours or someone that you're working with, you can bring them in as an account and then attach an opportunity to them. I think we kind of went through that last time and how that all works. So we just went to create insurance opportunity. The way that it shows up, just to kind of show you here, any of the opportunities that your clients have are going to be under the related tab. So under related, I think I have one created for Emmanuel here. Yep. So I got this IUL that I made. So $150,000 IUL that I created I'm supposed to close here on 5/16. So if I click on this, it's kind of show me, usually it'll start out in this needs assessment stage. And so this is really where a lot of the work has been done in Salesforce. This is going to be something that you're going to want to familiarize yourself with. Any of the people that you're working with, this is where you're capturing everything for that sale right in here. So I'm going through, I'm doing my F&A or my CAIs or whatever you're doing to collect your client information. And what you would do is you'd come to related and you would upload those files. Again, anytime you see related, that's where your notes are, and that's where your uploaded files will go. So when I'm in this opportunity for Emmanuel, I'm going to attach any F&As, any illustrations, any little thing that I have, any brochures for that sale, so that I've always protected myself when it comes to this specific sale. We kind of went through this Right Bridge tool. I'm not going to go through in too much detail on this, but this is definitely something that we can all use if we want to. It's required in New York right now, and it'll be something that we're all going to have to do at some point eventually. As Reg BI, if you've all, a lot of you I know on this call are securities licensed. So as you've heard more about Reg BI going live June 30th, you'll have to use this client profiler and this Right Bridge tool to actually vet the product that you're choosing and make sure that it's a suitable recommendation for that client. There's going to be a rollover calculator in there or analyzer, and there's going to be a portfolio analyzer in there. So just actually really, really cool tools that just validate what you're talking about for you and for your clients. And so just keep an eye on that. You're going to need a lot more training there. Once that becomes fully live and functional, Angela, we can get together and schedule another one just to go into that as well. But you can kind of see, so each one of these stages, if I mark that as complete, each one of these stages has sales tools that are designed to help me through those. So in the assessing stage, I'm just gathering information. In the recommendation stage, I can run illustrations. So I have links to all of the carrier websites. So Crump, Everest, Nationwide, Prudential, Transamerica, all those companies. I can go and run illustrations, then come back here again. I would attach them all right here. And then under the application stage, if you were filling out an application elsewhere, you can always get the chance usually to download that as a PDF, come back and attach that here again so it's all in one place. Or if it's an IGO app, so if it's Transamerica or Nationwide, you can actually submit that application right through Salesforce, which is really cool. Also for your securities license folks, this is where you're going to see your DocuPace. There's another link to DocuPace through the opportunity. So if you've been into DocuPace a few times, you have your existing book of clients to choose from. So if you're writing a contract for someone that's already in there, you can just choose them. But if you have to make a new account, go ahead and go through and make an account in Salesforce first and do the opportunity. And by the time you get to this point and you go to DocuPace, it actually creates that client for you in DocuPace. So it's kind of helping you out a little bit there. And some of that information is feeding back and forth. Same with IGO, which is really cool. So just a lot of cool things here that you can do. Again, you're tracking that opportunity all the way through all these stages. Again, another opportunity for you to be able to see, how long it says right here, how many days does it stay in each one of these stages? Obviously, this is for training purposes. They would stay longer in these stages in most cases. But, what if it was taking a really long time to go from recommendation to application? I can maybe work on a process there, or from application to pending, maybe I'm not filling everything out completely right or getting it done the right way. That's kind of holding that up. So a lot of different things you can do to kind of manage your business from there as well. But again, that was just kind of a review. I know I went through that a little bit quickly, but that's kind of what we talked about last time as we were in here.